Are you a beginner artist or drawing is your hobby? Do you learn to draw with watercolors and thinking of trying a waterbrush pens? Join me as I try using waterbrush pens for the first time and discover the magic of blending, shading and making mistakes along the way. So let's talk what is a waterbrush pen. Waterbrush pens are designed for watercolor art. Each waterbrush pen consists of brush tip, made of synthetic bristles and shapes. Mine are medium and large. And water reservoir. The handle holds water, so there is no need for frequent dipping into a water container. By squeezing the reservoir gently, you control the amount of water released to the brush. They are popular because of their portability, ease of use and convenience. On the market, there are flat and pointy waterbrush pens. For now, I have a pointy in 2 sizes. You may ask who needs waterbrush pens when there are normal brushes. Actually, they are very convenient to use outside. No need for a separate water container or constant cleaning. Also lightweight and easy to carry, perfect for traveling. They are also mess-free, so should be great for beginners. And I hope once I learn how to control water, there should be less spills. And without further ado, let's use them. Let's fill the waterbrush reservoir with clean water by squeezing the reservoir and then putting it into water and letting the pressure inside do the work. Do you know you could also fill it with colored ink and use it for calligraphy or illustrations? Just be careful to use liquid inks that are water-soluble or diluted with water to avoid clogging the pen. I don't have ink, but I want to buy one in the future, so you will definitely see me practice with ink here. It took me a few squeezes to fill the reservoir almost to the top. For workspace, you will need a water paper, preferably 300 grams per square meter or heavier. This paper is thick enough to absorb water without buckling. Also, you will need paper towels or a cloth for blotting, and your watercolors or other supplies. Later, I will show you how to use them also with pencils and markers. Here you can see I have watercolor pencils and dual brush pen set that have brush from one side and pen from the other side. But let's start with watercolors. Here you can take paint with water brush directly from pens by squeezing water into it, or firstly mixing it on a palette. It depends on what is more convenient for you, but it is often recommended for the beginners to try firstly by mixing paint on a palette. After setting up your water brush pen, start with these simple and fun exercises to get familiar with the tool and watercolor techniques. Let's experiment with basic strokes. I am trying to draw straight lines, curves, circles and other simple shapes to practice water control and repetition. By applying varying pressure to the brush, I aim to create lines that go from thin to thick. By using different brush angles, I create various shapes and textures. And let's not forget to try dry brush and wet brush. Use minimal or almost no water for sharper lines. It helps to dry brush onto a towel firstly and then use it on a dry paper. And then I use more water to softer, flowing strokes. Don't forget to clean thoroughly your water brush pen between changing colors to avoid matting your artwork. Also, to avoid messy strokes, we need to achieve water control. So I'm trying to find the right level of squeeze when using the brush. By squeezing the pen gently, I release a small amount of water and can control it more. You want to use more water for a lighter wash and less water for deeper colors. So let's practice gradients. I'm creating a gradient by applying one color and pulling it across the paper with water. Let's experiment with transitioning between 2 colors, blending them smoothly. Now let's try wet on dry and wet on wet techniques with Waterbrush pen. Here I applied color directly to dry paper to reach defined edges and have more control. And for wet on wet technique, we wet the paper first and then add color to see it spread and create those soft, dreamy effects. And also don't forget to focus more on enjoying the process without worrying about perfection. A water brush is a very versatile tool that pairs wonderfully with a variety of art supplies. Here I want to show you how to use it also with watercolor pencils and watercolor markers. But you can use it also with graphite or charcoal pencils, with gouache, ink, water-soluble wax crayons, everywhere where you normally want to use watercolor brushes. Let's use it with watercolor markers first. For that, I draw with a marker, then blend the ink with the water brush for smooth gradients. Here, picking up ink directly from the marker tip works better, allowing you to have more control over thin lines. Actually, I kinda love it and find it very easy to use. And with pencils, I am drawing directly on paper with them, then blending the colors with the water brush. It is perfect to work in layers to build depth. Here is the same flower painted with markers and with pencils. And here you can see I've tried to draw a pier just using pencils, and now I'm adding water to it. And to make it more interesting, I wanted to try outline it with watercolor pen. Also, I have tried simple landscape to practice more wet on wet technique. Later, I have added trees with markers, which helped to make it more defined. So it was definitely an interesting experience, and I feel more confident using Waterbrush with all tools and can't wait to use it outside. Have a great time using your Waterbrush pen. Now you know how to use it confidently with different art supplies. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Happy drawings, and I see you in the next video.